Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
Beach FM, really good news to hear. The shows must go on is coming to Kapiti, and here is one of the stars of the shows that must go on. Hayden Tee, a very good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning. How are you today?
Well, I'm excellent. I'm more concerned about you, Hayden. In case you don't know, Hayden is a gentleman who has made a real name for himself around the world. He's been in that amazing musical Les Miserables in the West End, Broadway. Hayden, it's lovely to talk to you. I have to ask you, do you think that Les Mis is the best musical ever?
Oh, that's a very
it's a
loaded
big call,
question.
Isn't it?
It is a big call. Look, it is one of my favourite musicals. I'll absolutely give you that. I've done it for 5.5 years over the years, playing Marius and Javert, so I know it very well. I personally don't know if it's my favourite musical in the world because it's such a subjective thing. I tend to go for things that are a little bit more comedy, but I love it and I love to get it to escape in it. But in real life, I'm actually a lot funnier than the twisted Javert or the depressed Marius.
I must say you've made a name for yourself as a very good Javert. That can't be a bad thing in terms of their career status, surely.
Oh, not at all. And I love the role. I hope to do it again one day. I absolutely love it. It's a dream role. It was a dream role when it came along for me, and which is why I kept doing it for as long as I could. I feel very, very, very lucky and very grateful to have done it in some of the places I've done it.
Wow. Where have you done it?
I started my Les Mis journey on the West End as Marius in 2000. Concert in Sydney at the Parramatta Riverside. There were 5 people in the audience, and my manager said, I said, I can't do this show for 5 people. There's more of us in the band and backstage. And my manager said, you're doing it, and we're going to add a new song in. This is the moment. And I was like, this is a semi-autobiographical show that I'm doing, and I don't have a moment in my life to put this as the moment in, but I'll do whatever he says. And then afterwards, a gentleman came up to me in the bar and said, my name is John Robertson. Of course, my manager knew that he was in. My name is John Robertson. I'm a casting director and executive producer for Cameron Macintosh Australasia.
Good.
We can't find a Marius for the West End. Are you free in 5 weeks to come over and audition? Flew to London, got the role, moved to London for a year.
How amazing.
That's how I started with Les Mis. And then my Javert journey started in 2014. I was actually in New York. I was living there, had been living there for about 4 years, and I went to see the show on Broadway, and I was like, I need to play Javert, I need to play that role. So I wrote a little note that said, Dear Hayden, I believe in affirmations, Dear Hayden, congratulations on playing Javert on Broadway, March 2016, so I gave myself 2 years.
Wow.
And I folded up that note and hid it in the lining of my chair. Sorry, the Imperial Theatre, I unpicked one of your chairs. Actually, that's a lie. It was already had a little rip in it. So I put the note in and then went along to an audition and got the role in Australia. And I was like, well, Australia, Broadway, pretty close. Did it in Australia for 2 years, and then they asked if I would transfer it to Broadway. So I went to do it Broadway until it closed. Then I went to do it in Dubai to open the new Dubai Opera House. Goodness. Then after that I went to London and did it in London for a year. And then last year I came back and did it in New Zealand at the Civic Theatre for a few months. So it's a a role that's very close to me, and I'm very grateful.
Oh, that is just an amazing story. So that's certainly something to build a career on. But Hayden, you are back home now, and I assume that COVID-19 has something to do with that.
It does. I was doing Matilda when COVID hit. I'd done it in London for 15 months, and then I was doing the international tour. So we had opened the Manila season about a week and a half before things started to lock down all over the world. And as soon as that happened, I was like, I have to get back to New Zealand. I had to get back to New Zealand before lockdown, which I did. I went from Manila to Abu Dhabi to New York to New Jersey to Vancouver to Australia, which, as you can probably tell, that's not the most direct route.
Indeed.
Back to New Zealand. But I got here before lockdown, isolated, of course, and then and here we are. I'm loving being at home, though.
Really? Oh, that's great. It's wonderful to have you home. But it's not just you, and this is the genesis of this amazing show. I think this is quite a unique opportunity. The shows must go on, as I understand, is a bunch of people, such as your good self, who find themselves in New Zealand, who would normally be around the globe, really, performing in shows, and you've sort of got together and thought, well, we may as well do something at home. Now, is that a reasonable summation of what has happened?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was all the real catalyst for everything with our two producers, Ben Rusk and Dave Spark. They are wizards in the world of sound and lighting and LED, and they kind of came up with the idea and they approached us all, so we really have them to thank for it. But it's, I mean, it's wonderful. All of these people, I've worked with some of them before, some of them I've never met before, some of them I've been a fan of for a long time. And yeah, I'm so excited after touring the world for years, decades, to now finally tour in New Zealand. We're going to drive from Invercargill all the way up to Kerikeri. Great to see New Zealand.
Oh, how wonderful. And terrific that you're coming to some of the smaller centres as well. Mind you, in our case, we've got a brand new theatre for you, so I do hope that you're going to enjoy that.
Oh, I can't wait. It's exciting.
Oh, it is exciting. It's just terrific. Now, what songs are you going to be doing in the show?
Well, that's a little bit still. We don't start rehearsals till September 14, but I have received a preliminary list. But, of course, everything can change once we're in the room together. But, I mean, for myself, I can only really speak for myself. I'll be doing Stars, of course, from Les Mis, and I think I'll be doing Smell of Rebellion from Matilda, because they're the two roles that I've spent, well, most of the last decade doing, really. So I think they're going to be, and there'll be the group numbers, there'll be trios, there'll be duets. It's not going to be, it'll be kind of like thematic, so we'll go through all sorts of different areas of musical theatre. You're going to feel all the emotions. You're going to cry, you're going to laugh, you'll run the gamut.
It's going to be just terrific. Performing in the Performing Centre on the 12th of October. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see the shows must go on. And it's been wonderful to have some time with Hayden Tee, one of the stars of the shows. Hayden, thank you so much for your company this morning. Much appreciated.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
106.3 Beach FM.